When your ex enters a new relationship, it can feel like your world is falling apart. It's not just the pain of losing someone who was once your everything, but also a deep-seated fear. Will I be replaced? Will I be forgotten? Questions swirl endlessly in your mind. Have they truly moved on? Is this new relationship real love, or just a way to fill the void of loneliness? Are they trying to escape the memories we shared? But remember, a new relationship doesn't mean you've been erased from their heart. The memories and emotions connected to you, even if faded by time, still leave their mark. A familiar glance, an old story, a simple habit. These have become irreplaceable pieces of their memory, difficult for anyone to replace. Mike Will faded by Sue and Roger. This isn't the time to fight to win them back. It's time to pause and look inward. This is a precious opportunity to ask yourself, what do I truly want from a relationship? What is most important to me? The no contact rule isn't just about creating distance, but also about giving both of you time to reflect from a clearer perspective. Only with distance can what was clouded by emotions become clear. See this not as an ending, but as a turning point, to redefine yourself and your life. The journey of self-transformation after a breakup isn't easy, but it's an experience that will help you understand your own psychology and that of your ex. I'll delve into every corner, every thought, and share powerful strategies to overcome this phase. You'll not only move forward with confidence and renewed strength, but also rediscover your true worth. Let's start this journey today. Analyzing post-breakup psychology and emotional shifts. Breakups always leave a deep wound in the soul, and whether you're the one leaving or the one left behind, both individuals experience complex psychological changes. When a relationship ends, the person who initiates the breakup is often seen as the stronger one, but the reality is quite different. The decision to break up is never easy. It's a tumultuous inner journey where emotions are pushed to their limits. Try to put yourself in their shoes. To reach the decision to leave you, they had to face a struggle between reason and emotion for a long time. No one suddenly abandons someone they once deeply loved. Before uttering the words of separation, they considered, hesitated, and even went through storms of conflicting emotions. This explains why, when the decision is made, they often appear resolute and cold. It's not because they no longer have feelings, but because they need to create an emotional wall to protect themselves and avoid wavering. However, even if they chose to leave, the initial sense of relief doesn't last forever. After distance is established, they begin to realize your absence in their life. Habits that were once taken for granted, like good morning texts, familiar conversations, or your caring gaze, now become a void that's hard to fill. Even if they try to immerse themselves in other activities to forget, deep-seated memories creep into their minds, especially in quiet moments. In psychology, this is called the absence effect. When something is no longer present, its value is truly felt. Initially, they may feel comfortable being free from the stresses of the relationship, but time will make them face the question, have I lost something precious? Especially when they see you no longer trying to hold on. This creates an empty space that they can't immediately fill. The brain starts to compare. The new person, if any, doesn't bring the same familiar feeling that you once did. The silence from your side is not a disappearance, but a silent yet powerful reminder. I don't depend on your presence to find my worth. It is also important to understand that regret from an ex usually doesn't come immediately. When deciding to break up, they tend to idealize the free life they are heading towards. However, when faced with reality, emotional challenges begin to arise. They ask themselves, was I hasty? Was this decision really the right one? These questions not only reflect their doubts, but also indicate a crack in their initial resolve. When you don't make contact, you give them the opportunity to face their true emotions. They are no longer distracted by your pursuit or clinging. And it is in this absence that your presence in their mind becomes clearer than ever. It's crucial to remember that any hasty actions on your part, like begging, pleading, or trying to prove something, can reinforce their decision to leave. On the contrary, keeping your distance and focusing on yourself not only gives them space to think, but also helps you regain balance and dignity. Silence is not only a way to heal, but also a strong affirmation that you are worthy enough for them to reconsider. In this journey, time and silence will become your strongest allies. The emotions that your ex tries to bury will gradually surface, forcing them to face an undeniable truth. The old relationship is not just a part of their memory, but also a part of who they are. A part that they cannot easily replace. Facing the pain when your ex enters a new relationship. When your ex enters a new relationship, it feels like a sharp knife piercing your heart. It's not just a change in their relationship status, but also a powerful psychological shock, making you feel replaced and abandoned. The harsh reality that the care and love that once belonged to you is now given to someone else easily evokes deep pain and insecurity within you. Psychology calls this rejection syndrome, where the brain reacts to this loss as if it were a physical wound, leading to feelings of pain and despair. You begin to question yourself. Did I do something wrong? What is better about the other person? These seemingly harmless questions are the source of a chain of negative thoughts and self-blame. But stop and understand that your ex choosing a different path is not a measure of your worth. Your value is not defined by their choice, but by how you treat yourself. While you struggle with turbulent emotions, your ex may be in the honeymoon phase of a new relationship, where everything is idealized and beautiful. They may feel excitement and temporary happiness thanks to dopamine, a neurotransmitter triggered by novelty. But remember, that initial excitement doesn't guarantee lasting happiness. According to psychological studies, most rebound relationships, formed immediately after a breakup, often lack a solid emotional foundation and easily collapse when the idealization phase fades. At this point, the most important thing is to change how you perceive yourself. Instead of asking, "Why am I not good enough?" ask, "How can I become the best version of myself?" This is not the time to compare or blame yourself, but an opportunity to reassess your values and direct your life the way you want. The person they choose is not necessarily better, but simply a better fit for their temporary emotional state. This has nothing to do with you. It's not that you are lacking, but that they are looking for something that reflects their inner needs at that moment. Understanding this will help you let go of negative thoughts and regain clarity to see the situation. Embracing the no-contact rule in the throes of breakup pain. Choosing no contact with your ex is like breaking the key that unlocks a familiar door. You stand before its closed threshold, listening to the echoes of memories, both sweet and bitter. Each morning, the yearning to hear their voice surges like waves, pulling you into a whirlpool of longing and despair. Your hand trembles, reaching for the phone, but reason screams in protest. You're afraid, terrified that this silence will push them away forever. But in this agonizing silence, you're taking an incredibly powerful step, reclaiming control of your life, redefining your self-worth, and giving both yourself and your ex the space needed to truly grasp the meaning of the loss. No contact makes you feel detached from a part of yourself. Each day you grapple with conflicting emotions, the urge to reach out, intertwined with a fear of making things worse. You wonder if they think of you, if this decision is right. The pain stems not only from losing someone important, but also from facing yourself in this empty silence. Yet, within this stillness you realize that pain doesn't just break you, it can also remake you. Every day of no contact is a day you reclaim the inner strength eroded by emotions and dependence on another. This period isn't for waiting. It's for regaining your composure, discovering that your worth is never determined by anyone's acceptance or rejection. Your ex might enter a phase of serenity after the breakup, feeling like they've escaped a burden. But as you maintain distance, the silence from your side gains its own weight. Human psychology is peculiar. Only when something is gone do we truly realize its value. In that silence, they'll gradually notice the little things you brought: gentle inquiries, loving gestures, irreplaceable memories. If they enter a rebound relationship, the initial excitement will quickly fade as reality sets in. They'll start comparing what the new person offers to what you provided: the understanding, the sense of security, the emotional depth only a long-term relationship can foster. Memories of you, instead of fading, become clearer in your absence. The no-contact rule isn't a tool to manipulate or win your ex's emotions. It's an act you undertake for yourself. When you stop texting, stop asking, stop trying to maintain a fractured connection, you not only grant yourself freedom, but also force them to confront the reality that you're not a given in their life. The effect of loss will begin to emerge. Their mind will be haunted by questions. Have I lost something important? Did I underestimate this person? These questions, over time, will burrow into their thoughts, forcing them to face the emotions they once tried to avoid. No contact is like a reset button in the relationship. Instead of begging or forcing, you allow natural attraction to be reborn. Attraction isn't something you can compel. It arises from respect, curiosity, and the sense that you're living a fulfilling life without them. Lao Tzu once said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." This holds profound meaning about letting go to achieve freedom and growth. It reminds us that abandoning what no longer serves us is essential to open doors to better things. By embracing no contact, you're not just letting go of your ex, but also of expectations, dependence, and negative emotions holding you back. Ceasing communication isn't surrender, it's liberation, freeing you from bonds that hinder your progress. Lao Tzu's teaching emphasizes that change and growth can only occur when we're willing to release the outdated. Most importantly, remember that no contact isn't about waiting for them to realize your worth, because you understand that a relationship isn't worth maintaining if it's not built on mutual willingness and respect. You're walking away from a battle you don't need to win. You don't need to convince, plead, or prove anything. No contact is the most powerful expression of letting go, a decision to rediscover yourself, not to chase after someone else. Non-interference when your ex has a new partner. Seeing your ex hand in hand with someone new after a breakup can feel like a punch to the gut, shattering your world. The feeling of being replaced, abandoned, is like 1,000 knives stabbing your heart, leaving you adrift in a sea of pain. In this state of confusion, it's easy to fall into impulsive actions, sending angry texts, trying to intrude into their life, or even sabotaging the new relationship. However, these efforts, even if born from a desire to reconcile, are not only futile but can also backfire dramatically. When you try to interfere, they become like a defensive porcupine, curling up and using their sharp quills to push you away. They no longer see love in your eyes but only a threat, an intrusion into their private life. They begin to idealize the new person, seeking reasons to justify their decision, even if doubts linger within. Every reproach, every act of intrusion into their life is like a drop that overflows the cup, pushing them further away. Your image in their eyes shifts from a loved one to a troublemaker, a blind with jealousy. Beautiful memories are overshadowed by resentment and fatigue. They feel lucky to have escaped you, escaped the control and pressure you brought. Moreover, trying to interfere is like tearing apart your own self-respect. It makes you appear small and weak in the eyes of others, further pushing you into a spiral of jealousy and insecurity. You lose your composure, your self-belief, and ultimately the one who gets hurt the most is you. Understanding this, stop and find a way to heal your heart. You deserve happiness, and that happiness doesn't lie in someone else's hands, but in your own. I've witnessed many love stories that exemplify this, like the story of my friend Jack and Emily. They were deeply in love for 4 years, but disagreements and life pressures gradually pushed them apart. Emily decided to break up and just a few months later started a new relationship with Ryan, a colleague. Jack, unable to bear the pain of being replaced, began texting Emily with reproaches, even posting suggestive messages on social media. In a moment of impulsiveness, he showed up at the cafe where Emily and Ryan frequented, hoping to prove he was still the better match. But these actions didn't make Emily reconsider. On the contrary, she felt pressured and uncomfortable, which made her bond with Ryan even stronger. In Ryan's eyes, Emily became someone who needed protection, and their relationship grew closer. Jack's story is not only a lesson in the futility of interference, but also a testament to how it can damage self-esteem. Jack lost the chance to restore the relationship, while reinforcing Emily's decision that breaking up was the right thing to do. His actions not only complicated Emily's emotions, but also trapped him in self-inflicted pain. If Jack had chosen silence and focused on himself instead of trying to interfere, the situation might have been different. Silence and composure are the most powerful choices you can make after a breakup. Instead of trying to interfere, keep your distance and allow your ex the space to face their true emotions. Without your presence, they won't be able to continue blaming or finding ways to avoid the uncertainties in their new relationship. Silence not only breaks their sense of power, but also evokes curiosity and regret. Most importantly, remember that no contact isn't about waiting for them to realize your worth, because you understand that a relationship isn't worth maintaining if it's not built on mutual willingness and respect. You're walking away from a battle you don't need to win. You don't need to convince, plead, or prove anything. No contact is the most powerful expression of letting go, a decision to rediscover yourself, not to chase after someone else. The whirlpool of post-breakup relationships. I understand your discomfort seeing them with someone else, but try to take a deep breath and regain your composure. We're going to play the role of observer now, which will help us gain a more objective perspective on the turmoil in your mind. This will not only help you recognize the true nature of the relationship your ex is building, but also help you make smarter choices. In reality, many new relationships after a breakup often don't stem from true love, but from deep-seated psychological motives. One of the most common types is the rebound relationship, where your ex quickly seeks out someone new to fill the emotional void. Instead of facing loneliness and healing, they choose to seek temporary comfort from someone easily accessible. These relationships often lack true depth and connection, so they rarely last. As the novelty wears off, your ex will begin to compare and realize that the new relationship can't fulfill the deep needs they once had in the old one. Another type of relationship is the proof relationship, where your ex enters a new relationship not out of love, but to assert that they have moved on from you or are living a better life. This is often an act to protect a wounded ego or to respond to social pressure after a breakup. However, this relationship is also not sustainable, as it is built on the need for validation rather than true connection. If your ex has truly let go, they wouldn't feel the need to prove anything. This move shows that they are still affected by you and haven't fully resolved the pain from the old relationship. Finally, there's the ego-driven relationship, where your ex deliberately displays their happiness with the new person to get your attention or cause your pain. These actions usually stem from insecurity and a desire to control your emotions. However, using the new person as a tool not only hurts you, but also hurts them, turning the relationship into an emotional game rather than a genuine connection. No matter what type of relationship your ex chooses, understand that their actions do not reflect your worth or the quality of the relationship you once had. The important thing is not to let negative emotions cloud your judgment. The no-contact rule is the best way to maintain your dignity, prevent impulsiveness and create space for your ex to face the uncertainties in their new relationship. Silence not only helps you avoid trouble, but also helps you preserve your self-respect. Delayed regret. When your ex suddenly realizes, after a breakup, everyone eventually moves on to their own path. Your ex is no different. They find someone new, immersed in fresh emotions and the excitement of a new beginning. They might post happy moments on social media, trying to show that they have completely moved on, that their current life is better than ever. But you know, deep within everyone's mind exists a memory drawer that stores memories and emotions that, although past, never truly fade. And then as time passes, delayed regret will knock on their hearts, making them realize what they have lost. Delayed regret is a common psychological phenomenon that occurs when people begin to deeply feel the loss of a past relationship, usually after a period of being lulled by new emotions. There are many reasons for this phenomenon. First is the fading of the halo effect in the new relationship. Initially, everything is sparkling and attractive. The new person appears with prominent advantages, masking their inherent flaws. But then, as the shiny shell gradually peels off, real problems begin to emerge: differences in personality, life perspectives, communication conflicts. Only then do they realize that the new relationship is not as perfect as they once thought. In addition, habits and memories of the old relationship also contribute to awakening this syndrome. It could be a familiar song, a favorite dish, a road you used to walk together. All act as triggers that evoke a flood of memories. They remember the joyful moments, the shared experiences, the sincere emotions that only you could bring. They realize that the new person cannot fill the void you left behind. And most importantly, they realize that the new relationship cannot replace you. Each person holds a unique place in our hearts. The new person may bring them new emotions, but they can never replace your image, the person who was once an important part of their life. Delayed regret can occur silently or erupt intensely. They might suddenly text you after a long silence, ask about your life, even express regret for letting you go. However, it's crucial to recognize that your worth does not depend on someone else's regret. You deserve to be loved and cherished, whether they realize it or not. Don't wait. Don't expect your ex to return. Instead, focus on yourself, love yourself, and build a better life. Let your silence and confidence speak. Because psychology has proven that people often only truly appreciate what they have lost when they no longer have the opportunity to hold on to it. And who knows, maybe then they will truly understand your worth. The journey back to self, building independent psychology after a breakup. Breaking up is like being separated from a part of ourselves. We feel empty, lost, and seemingly without direction. In those moments of weakness, it's easy to cling, plead, or try to fill the void with a new relationship. But in truth, the key to overcoming the pain of a breakup lies not in seeking external comfort, but in the journey of discovering and building independent psychology, an inner strength that helps us stand firm against life's storms. Independent psychology is not simply about not relying on your ex emotionally, but also a process of rebirthing yourself, finding true meaning and purpose in life, not being influenced by external judgments and expectations. It's a journey back to your truest self, where you are you, with all your strengths and weaknesses, without having to pretend to please anyone. To build independent psychology, we need to go through 3 important stages. 1. Self-awareness. This is the first and most important step. We need to take time to look back at ourselves, understand who we truly are, what really matters to us, what our passions are. We need to realize that our self-worth does not depend on anyone, on any relationship. We are an independent individual with our own strength and power. Ask yourself questions like, who am I outside of this relationship? What are my strengths? What makes me happy? What do I want to achieve in life? Answering these questions will help us gradually paint a complete picture of ourselves, recognizing the core values we have inadvertently forgotten. 2. Emotional regulation. After a breakup, we experience a lot of negative emotions: sadness, anger, regret, jealousy. Independent psychology doesn't mean suppressing or denying these emotions, but learning to accept and regulate them wisely. Allow yourself to be sad, to cry, to release the feelings in your heart. But at the same time, we also need to realize that emotions are only temporary. They will pass, giving way to more positive emotions. Find ways to manage emotions by practicing meditation, journaling, exercising, or engaging in activities you enjoy. Don't let emotions dictate your actions and decisions. 3. Finding inner happiness. True happiness doesn't come from external things like material possessions, fame, or recognition from others. It lies within us, in the small joys of everyday life, in pursuing our passions, and in personal growth. Focus on the things that make us feel happy and meaningful. It could be reading, writing, painting, playing sports, spending time with family and friends. Find joy in every moment, in every action. When we know how to create a source of happiness from within, we will no longer depend on anyone or anything to feel happy. Building independent psychology is a long journey and requires perseverance and patience. But this is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. When we become independent and strong, we attract healthy, positive relationships and build a fulfilling life. It's not just a step to recover from a breakup, but also the beginning of a new, more confident, free, and mature version of ourselves. A breakup is a painful turning point, but it is also an opportunity to rediscover yourself and shape a better future. When your ex enters a new relationship, feelings of being replaced, hurt, and confused are inevitable. However, it is in these darkest moments that you have the opportunity to discover your inner strength. The no-contact rule is not just a strategy, but also an act of self-respect and respect for the other person. Remember, silence is not surrender, but a powerful affirmation that you don't need to cling to anyone to find your worth. In your absence, your ex will face the true emotions they try to bury. The memories you shared, the warmth you brought, will gradually become clearer. This is not punishment, but a chance for both of you to understand yourselves and face what has been lost. The no-contact rule not only helps you regain balance, but also opens the path for you to grow and become stronger. Don't wait for their regret or expect a return. Use this time to build the life you desire, a life not dominated by the past. When you rise from the pain and become a better version of yourself, you not only rediscover your self-worth, but also lay the foundation for healthier relationships in the future. As the philosopher Rumi once said, "Cleanse your heart, let go of what no longer belongs to you, so that new light can enter." Let the no-contact rule be the first step on that journey. When you let go of old ties, not only will your heart be freed, but your future will also be more open than ever before.